Welcome back, citizens, and thank you for watching. We'd like to thank all of our patrons and channel members. Thank you so much for your support. If you enjoy our content, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button to help the channel grow. In today's episode, we're going to talk about the Magnus System and learn about its planets, features of interest, history, and lore. We're also going to talk about Triggerfish, a holiday celebrated across the UEE on April 1st, and its history and lore. And that episode starts right now. Magnus is a small, entirely undistinguished system that consists of 3 planets orbiting a main sequence dwarf-type K-star with 3 jump points within its 3 AU boundaries. The jump points connect the Magnus system to the Terra system through a medium jump point, to the Ella system through a large jump point, and to the Stanton system through a large jump point. The shipyards of the Magnus system used to be one of the iconic locations of the Empire. When the Navy moved to operations to the Killian system, the system's economy was unable to recover. The resulting decades of economic downturn and criminal activity is only now being slowly reversed, in large part due to the ship manufacturer Drake Interplanetary establishing their corporate headquarters here. Magnus, on the edge of the unknown, or so reads the slogan favored by Newcastle's tourism board. In truth, the phrase better describes Magnus a century ago. Recent decades have seen increased settlement and improved standards of living in a system that considers itself the unofficial capital of human frontier culture. First discovered in 2499, only a single world, Magnus II, was cleared for terraforming. Magnus's distance from well-traveled space, plus the availability of heavy metals and the anticipated ease of terraforming, Magnus II resulted in a military-commissioned closed terraforming starting in 2533. By the late 26th century, Magnus had become a large-scale naval base and the source of a great deal of ship construction. This lasted until 2631, when budget cutbacks and the desire to focus operations in other systems like Killian led to the overall scaling back of operations in Magnus. Even after terraformation, Magnus II was a relatively barren desert world, which had the effect of generally reducing overall interest in resettling Magnus once the influx of Navy credits dried up. The result was an eerie, depopulated ghost world with a decaying structure of refining and shipbuilding equipment considered too expensive to move elsewhere. During this period, the system's population declined to less than 30,000, with a significant portion of that squatting in abandoned government property. Magnus's inhabitants became a ragtag group of outbackers, claim jumpers, and other similar, less savory types. The result was a system with a reputation for a wild, anything-goes atmosphere where humans could live along the margins of the law. A culture supporting this system has since arisen organically with a kill-or-be-killed attitude that has developed into a strictly held frontier-style code of honor. In recent years, Borea, or Magnus II, has become more civilized, increasingly playing its reputation and fading ghost towns for tourist dollars. It is still among the most dangerous human-settled worlds despite recent pushes by the advocacy and local militia to clean up the system. However, for all the perceived lawlessness, Magnus is seen as a place where anyone can start anew, a system that strongly believes in ignoring an individual's past in favor of his or her potential. For this reason alone, settlement on Borea is increasing year by year. Magnus I is a Chthonian planet, a former gas giant, which had its atmosphere fully separated by its proximity to the Sun's star. The result is a tightly compacted mass of rock rich in high-value minerals. Dating back to the system's time under stricter naval control, the UEE still maintains full mining rights over Magnus I and oversees all contracts for shipping or refinement. Magnus II's senatorial representatives have tried repeatedly to control these rights to little avail. Owing to its cosmetology, Magnus 1 is also a source of high-grade gemstones used for a variety of industrial and decorative purposes. Borea, Magnus 2, is the terraformed center of the system. Classified as a near-Earth planet, Borea has a harsh climate and is dotted with centuries-old abandoned UEE naval facilities which are slowly rusting away. Some have been settled by frontiersmen, while other prefab cities have sprung up elsewhere unrelated to the original settlements. Subsistence farms can be found in the planet's more temperate zones closer to the poles. The capital of the world is Newcastle, but most inbound traffic is headed towards the industrial city of Odessa, which can be considered Magnus's busiest starport. Odessa, formerly a shipbuilding city before the UEE's abandonment of Magnus, has been revitalized in recent years with the development of Drake Interplanetary. Vast tracts of empty warehouses and rusting construction yards have been modernized and returned to life, building cutlasses and caterpillars. Gangs are still a serious problem in the city, and squatters have claimed the rights to many former UEE facilities which have been converted into various mom-and-pop industrial operations. Magnus 3 is a super Jupiter gas giant, a huge multicolored sphere hanging at an extreme distance from Magnus's sun. Rumors claim that Magnus 3's Lagrange points are common meeting places for outlaws. Local authorities, already stretched thin, simply recommend most travelers avoid the area. Magnus 4 does not exist. A common trick played by locals to claim that the system has a fourth planet, usually named Triggerfish, in local legends. Depending on who you talk to, this non-existent planet is said to contain everything from a lush paradise somehow supporting life outside the green zone to long-lost secret Navy vaults. Some outlaws give victims coordinates to the planet, only to ambush them once they arrive. To put an end to this dangerous practice, the UEE launched an information campaign that refuted the claim that Triggerfish existed. This spread the name outside of its system of origin. A human holiday has evolved out of this and is celebrated across the UEE on April 1st. Those who observe it play pranks or jokes on one another or participate in hoaxes, shouting "Triggerfish" once the jape is complete. Triggerfish is a nickname for a gullible person, and the name became the most common way to refer to the holiday. Well, that's the Magnus System and Triggerfish. Thank you for watching. More holidays and systems will be coming soon. We'll see you in the verse, and happy mining!